Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and today I'm going to be talking about the books that I'm going to be reading for the Reading Rush. The Reading Rush is taking place tomorrow. I'm filming this on Sunday. So it's from the 20th to the 26th. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to be daily vlogging or not. Personally, I don't have anything going on in my life and everything is shut down due to the coronavirus, of course. I'm probably gonna have my vlogs be mostly like strictly book content. So if you're interested in any of these books that I'm about to show you and you wanna know my thoughts on them, my vlogs are probably going to be strictly talking about them. It's not really gonna be a lifestyle vlog, but I tried to do it last year, but I only did part one of my vlog and I never uploaded the second part. I've unlisted that video since then, so even though this looks like my first time participating in it, this is technically my second, so hopefully this year is a lot better than last year. So there are 7 prompts for this readathon, and the first one is to read a book with a cover that matches the color of your birthstone. That was a lot of words. And I was born in October, and so my birthstone is an opal, and opal is kind of a weird stone where there's like 20 different variations. So I decided to go with the Revisioners by Margaret Wilkerson Sexton because of like there's blue and pink and green, and if you've ever seen an opal in real life, there are like a lot of colors on it, and I thought that this represented that pretty well. If I remember it correctly, this is basically about, it's like a dual timeline where you follow a black woman and her white neighbor in the 1920s. The black woman, Josephine, I believe, owns her own farm, but there is a KKK clan, like, very close to where she lives that is obviously a very threatening, dangerous presence, and kind of forms some kind of a relationship. I don't know if it's a friendship or I'm not really sure. Like, she has some kind of relationship with the white woman that lives near her. And then in the other timeline, it's like 100 years later, and the descendants of both of these women also form a relationship, and talks kind of like about womanhood, women's friendships, ponders generational legacies, the endurance of hope, and the undying promise of freedom. So it sounds like there are a lot of themes going to be covered in this book, and this is fairly short. It's like 100 and wait, it's not even 100. What am I saying? It's like 250 pages, but it's pretty short, and I'm really excited. It sounds pretty good. The second prompt is to read a book that starts with the word "the," and for this one, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I've been trying to read all of Riley Sagar's books purely because of like the hype, but also because I bought 2 of his books and I didn't like one of them. I mean, I gave both of them 3 stars, but the more I think about Lock Every Door, the angrier I get. But I'm trying to get the hype. I don't understand it right now, but I'm trying to get it. And I bought The Last Time I Lied, like, I think last year, and I still haven't read it. And this is a thriller, I think, like a thriller mystery or whatever. And so I feel like it would be pretty quick to get through. It's basically like this girl was at a away camp, and she is the only person who survived, I believe, and then years later they invite her back to the camp to be a teacher or whatever, and she tries to uncover like what happened all those years ago. I'm not particularly a fan of the way he writes women. I don't really like the way he writes the woman's relationships with men, but yeah, unpopular opinion, Riley Sagar's kind of overrated. So hopefully I'm wrong and this book proves it. The third prompt is to read a book that inspired a movie that you've already seen. I'm not doing it that way. I'm reading something that inspired a TV show that I've watched. One of my favorite TV shows is an anime called Full Metal Alchemist. I rewatched it recently and it's confirmed. It's now like one of my favorite TV shows of all time. I mean, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist because I know that there are some characters that are missing from that show. I would be really sad if I didn't see them. Like, it wouldn't be the show that I love without those characters. So I'm going to be reading the manga that was adapted into Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is like the real storyline, if that makes any sense. So I checked out the first 5 not volumes. I don't read manga, so I don't know what this is called. The first book, I'm just gonna call it a book. I checked out the first 5 books in the series or whatever it's called, just because manga is really fast and easy to read through. So I probably will count it as one book. The basic premise of at least the TV show is there are two brothers, Alphonse and Edward, who, how do I explain this? So there's alchemy, and there are rules to that alchemy, and they broke those rules, and Alphonse now doesn't have a body, and Edward is missing an arm and a leg, and so they are on a mission to get their bodies back. The 4th prompt is to read the first book that I touch, and I don't know how I feel about this prompt because like it's obviously up to interpretation. So I decided to go with the first book that I touched when I went to the library a few weeks ago when it finally opened. It was on the new release shelf, and as soon as I saw it, I picked it up because I've heard such amazing things about it. And that is Riot Baby by Tochi Yanabuchi. And this is, I believe, a dystopian story where it follows, I want to say a brother and a sister, but I could be completely wrong about that. I don't really want to know anything going in. This is a very, very short story. I've seen it all over BookTube and Bookstagram, and I'm just really intrigued, and I feel like I could just fly through this. 5th prompt is to read a book completely outside of your house. I have a little porch like right outside. It's not really a porch. It's like a slab of concrete like right outside my door that I put a chair out there to read. I do want to read something fairly short, obviously, like other people are doing. Instead of reading a book I've already mentioned, I'm going to try to read River of Teeth by Sarah Gailey. I have this and the second book because I believe it's a duology, and I've heard really, really good things about this. And it is essentially about, apparently, the United States government, who always does some dumb shit, thought that would be a good idea to bring hippos into, I believe, the Louisiana bayous. And turns out hippos are actually very, very dangerous and scary. And they wanted, I think the reason why they wanted to bring the hippos in was for meat, like to eat the hippos. But apparently that was a thing that was almost about to happen. And Sarah Gailey decided to take that and put it into like, what if that had actually happened? If I don't get to the second book, I won't be heartbroken, but I definitely do want to at least try to read the third book just because it's been in my TBR for so freaking long. The 6th prompt is to read a book in a genre you want to read more of. I feel like I read a little bit of everything, from poetry to nonfiction to romance. But I don't read a lot of YA personally just because I have to really be very, very interested in a YA book to like actually pick it up and read it. There was a video that was circling around, I believe a couple months ago, where there was a woman that was talking about why the rioting and specifically the looting was occurring. It was such a brilliant video that it went viral. She recently went on For Harriet's channel. I'm going to leave a link to both the original video and the interview with Kimberly from For Harriet down below, because that interview was probably the best interview I've seen. But I decided to pick up this YA book that I've had my eye on, but I wasn't totally like sure about it, and that is I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Siegel. And Kimberly Jones is the woman who went viral on that video that basically like laid out why the protesters were looting. And this follows two girls, a white girl and a black girl, during a race riot after a high school football game. And that's all I really want to know going into it. I have heard mixed things about this book, but I still want to read it just because Kimberly Jones impressed me so much with her video and the interview. It was just like, she is such a strong activist and powerful woman that I honestly hope she writes like a nonfiction book or something about her life, because she's just an amazing woman, basically. I don't really know how else to like say it, but I'm very excited to read this book, and it's a short YA as well, so hopefully it probably won't take too long for me to finish it. Based on the subject matter, I'll probably get through it pretty quickly, but yeah. Seventh prompt is to read a book that takes place on a different continent than where you live. And I'm going to be reading The Only Child by Mie Seo. And this is like a Korean thriller about a creepy child, obviously from the cover. You follow a psychologist. I guess there's like a serial killer out on the loose. I don't know. Obviously with a thriller, I want to go in pretty blind, but yeah, I've heard a lot of really good things about this and I saw it in my library, so I decided to pick it up. Thank you guys so much for watching. How do I end videos? What if I just stare into the camera until it slowly fades to black? Leave a comment if you want to tell me what you're reading, or if you have your own TBR video, or if you plan on vlogging. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!